everybody, welcome back to the channel, Pop Retro. That's Pop Retro 1 at Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me at facebook.com/popretro1. And also you can find me at patreon.com/popretro if you want to check that out. So, hoping you had a good Christmas. It is the day after Christmas when I'm recording this, and my family was sick. I had some sick family members, so we actually postponed our family gathering. I'm fine. I didn't get sick yet, but coming off a big trip that we all took, some of the family members, mainly my parents, were really sick, and so usually we do Christmas out at their place, and this year we decided, okay, we're going to do Christmas on New Year's so that we can get everybody back up to speed, back up to health. But it also gave us a little extra time to finish off that Christmas shopping that we put off. And so wanted to pop in here. Well, first of all, thank you. There are now more than 200 of you that are subscribed to this channel. So just clicked over the 200 subscriber mark. So that's a Christmas present in itself to me. There were some days I didn't think I'd ever hit 100, and there were certainly some days I thought I'd never hit 200. But here we are. And so I wanted to check in and quickly show you a stack of Kino Lorber Studio Classics discs that I picked up recently. Now, Kino Lorber has, they always have their going out of print sale. I guess it's called the While Supplies Last sale. So that just means that they're losing licenses to some movies and won't be reprinting them, or they are just letting the licenses expire because maybe they didn't sell as well as they wanted to, and so they're not going to renew them. And so when it comes to TV movies, I always try to pick them up because, I don't know, they're just, TV on disc is just not, it's not popular, or it's not as popular as, say, your regular motion pictures, your regular movies, things like that. And so, especially when it comes to the older TV films, TV movies, and TV on disc, stuff from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, that, man, when they're released on disc, I try to pick them up. And so I realized that there were a lot that Kino Lorber has released over the past several years that I didn't have, and I decided to pick off some of those in this particular round of going through their While Supplies Last sale. So, all right. Now, not all of these were in the While Supplies Last sale, so some of these are still in print, some of these are still available, but you might want to check out their website to make sure if you see anything here that you like and maybe want, because you don't want it to magically disappear or go out of print. So, all right, a lot of DVDs in this stack and 3 Blu-rays. So a lot of these TV movies are released on DVD because, they were aired in standard definition, and they were aired in full screen, 1:33:1 aspect ratio. And so some of these, I think, probably weren't restored from the actual film elements, because a lot of these were shot and produced in an era where the finished product was put onto videotape, and that's how it was stored. And so a lot of these were shot, a lot of television, especially I think starting in the late 80s and into and through the 90s especially, were shot on film and edited on film, but then finalized onto videotape, and that's how it was archived. And a lot of these were actually shot on film, but then edited on videotape. And so to go back and reconstruct these movies is probably just a big undertaking that a lot of these studios trying to release some of these things onto disc, it's just too high of a cost. They're not going to do it. And so we get what we get with a lot of these. So a few of these are on Blu-ray, and some of these are not. Also, though, it costs more to release a Blu-ray than it does to release a DVD. And so in some cases, a studio like Kino Lorber just decides to release the DVD version. Because also, as much as collectors sometimes don't want to hear it, DVD still outsells the Blu-ray and 4K UHD. It just, there's just a bigger market for people who still buy discs. For those of us who are like film nerd collector types, sometimes we think that sucks because we want it in the best quality and all that sort of thing. But after us, the people still watching physical media are just people who, I guess, just probably older people, the older generations who haven't really jumped into streaming yet. And so they're just looking to continue to watch things on disc and, oh, I got a DVD player, so I guess I'll just buy that on DVD. Blu-ray, what's that? Is it blue? I guess it's not red. I don't know. But either way, just give me the DVD because I know that'll play. That's what my mom does. She has, not tons, but she's got a little stack of DVDs of movies and TV shows that she likes to watch. And the last thing she ever would want to do is buy a Blu-ray player. So anyhow, after all that, let's quickly go through this stack. I've got 10 items here, 3 Blu-ray and 7 DVD. One of them, the last one, is not Kino Lorber, but it is a TV on DVD, a TV movie on DVD, so I thought I'd include it here in this video. So, all right, up first we've got Rock Hudson and Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. Now, this is actually a miniseries, 1980, 293 minutes, newly mastered in HD. I can't remember if this one was going out of print or not. So we got parts 1 and 2 on the first disc and part 3 on the second disc, and there is reversible art on this release. Let's see here, see if I can pull it out without too much trouble. There's some nice art on there. Over at the front again. I'll just go ahead and pull the whole thing out. I can put it back together after I'm done recording, right? And I can also decide which side I want to actually show on this. All right, up next we have the double feature from 1969 and 1972 television films, Fear No Evil and Ritual of Evil. New 2K restorations, both starring Louis Jourdan, who I remember from mostly from the Bond film Octopussy. And he was also in, I think, Swamp Thing, right? Take a look at the back. Special features, audio commentaries by film historian and screenwriter Gary Girani. Newly commissioned art by Vince Evans, Fear No Evil Image Gallery TV trailers. I didn't look at the special features for The Martian Chronicles. They include interview with James Faulkner, the actor, and Kino Lorber Studio Classic trailers. So, all right, up next we've got the final Blu-ray in this stack of TV movies from Kino Lorber, and it is Farrah Fawcett in The Burning Bed. Now, I remember this especially when I went to high school in the early 90s. My health teacher, I don't remember what we were talking about, but this movie really left a mark on him because he talked about it and how it's, very important movie, very, moving film, a very something. And that always stayed with me, even though I'd never seen the movie. And so now I finally have it. And this is one that actually, if you want this, it's, I read that Kino Lorber has said that, again, they've dropped the Blu-ray release. So this has gone out of print. And so when I saw that, I went to, I think I found this on Amazon. They were still selling it for like a regular price on Amazon. But Kino Lorber decided that they're sticking with the license to sell the DVD because the DVD is outselling the Blu-ray by like 3 to 1 or 4 to 1 or some ridiculous number. So they decided we're not gonna renew the license for the Blu-ray, just the DVD. So if you're interested in this, definitely check out online retailers to see if you can still get it at a decent price. So there she is, Farrah Fawcett, The Burning Bed. Includes both widescreen and full-screen versions. Interview with director Robert Greenwald and a trailer gallery are the special features. 1984, this one came out. Look at the disc. Most of these, well, all of these look the same. Still like to open it up to see if there's reversible art. Not a lot usually, but every once in a while you get one. You get lucky with these Kino Lorber releases. All right, now on to the DVD stack, okay? 7 DVDs, 6 from Kino Lorber Studio Classics. Up first, we've got John Ritter and Susan Dey. It is The Comeback Kid from 1980. A story for anybody who's ever dreamed of being somebody. This was one of those ABC Circle Films productions from back in the day, starring Susan Dey. Okay, let's open this up, and these are all going to look the same, I'm pretty sure. No special features, bare bones. I'm happy to have it on disc. Up next, Brian Dennehy stars in Acceptable Risks from 1986. Dennehy is Don Shepard, a chemical plant manager ordered to cut costs and sacrifice safety to keep up production. But when the plant starts leaking toxic waste into a nearby town and management tries to hush it up, Don decides to fight back. Does that sound, I mean, that's like classic mid-80s environmental rah-rah stuff, right? So this was 1986. Of course, Chernobyl happened during the same year as this. And so this just reminds me of I don't know, the attitude that people were starting to take about environmental issues back then. And this was like, really taking it seriously by doing a movie like this. Here's a look at the back. And the disc. Remember Captain Planet and the Planeteers? That was like the last cartoon that I think I really liked or enjoyed as a kid, just before kind of making that turn to where I don't watch cartoons anymore. And so I think it was late 80s into the early 90s. But it was a TBS cartoon about, a Captain Planet. He was basically like a Superman, a superhero, but his whole thing was environmentalism. All right. Up next, we've got from the 90s, 1996, it is Legend of the Ruby Silver. Legend of the Ruby Silver. There, said a little better there with one of my favorites, John Schneider. Take a look at the cast right there. You've got Schneider, Jonathan Jackson, Bruce Weitz, Rebecca Jenkins. An old-fashioned adventure film for the whole family, which is kind of what Schneider does now independently with his independent production company. A lot of throwback low-budget movies he's been making recently. All right, we got 4 more left. Up next, we've got Superman himself. It is Christopher Reeve and Marg Helgenberger in Death Dreams. A murder mystery that begins in the beyond, when Christopher Reeve and his wife, played by Marg Helgenberger, enjoy wealth, beauty, and social rank, but when their daughter tragically drowns, their perfect world unravels. Without warning, they're contacted from the daughter, by the daughter from the beyond, to tell her mother how she really died. Bit by bit, clues pile up, evidence is found, and what follows is a riveting murder mystery that will haunt you long after the credits roll. 1991. Always good to get another Christopher Reeve film on disc. Audio commentary by film historian and author Amanda Reyes is the special feature on this. Reyes, who authored the compilation book on TV movies. I think it's called, what is it called? Are You in the House Alone? I think it's something like that. I have it somewhere. And so she's on the commentary track. Did I look at the inside of this? No, I didn't. But, another good reason to check out the disc is to make sure that the correct one is inside. It's been very rare, but occasionally over the years, I've gotten the wrong disc placed inside my Blu-ray or DVD case. All right. Up next, we've got Sammy Davis Jr. and Ernest Borgnine in The Trackers. 1971. This is an Aaron Spelling production. So Aaron Spelling, who, you know, was the guy behind Dynasty, Beverly Hills 90210, just crap loads of TV from, you know, the 60s clear through to, I think even the early 2000s. Before his death, he was still producing a lot of TV. I remember in an interview, he said that, you know, he'd tried his hand doing motion pictures, doing movies, but he just really liked episodic TV. TV was just more his speed. He enjoyed that more than doing motion pictures. And this is one of them, albeit for TV, a TV movie. 73 minutes is The Trackers. All right, the last Kino Lorber Studio Classics film, TV movie on disc, we have Ron Howard, Opie himself, in Huckleberry Finn. Always in a bind, Huck Finn, played by Ron Howard, has learned to think on his feet. When his drunken father kidnaps him, Huck fakes his own death and escapes down the wild Mississippi. And all kinds of adventure ensues. There's a lot to read. I'm not reading all of that. So there you have it. 77 minutes, 1975 for this television movie. There's a look at some of the stills. Any special features? No special features on this one. And there's the disc. All right, finally got one more TV movie on disc that is not a new release or a Kino Lorber Studio Classics release, but since it's a TV movie and I just randomly picked it up, this video was the perfect place to include it. This is a 1984 movie called The Cartier Affair. Starring, that's right, Joan Collins, David Hasselhoff, Michael Knight himself, Telly Savalas. Now, at the time, in 1984, both Hasselhoff, due to Knight Rider, and Collins, due to Dynasty, were super hot. They're probably the peaks of their career, I would say. I mean, I guess you could argue for Collins back in, you know, whatever, the 50s and 60s. Maybe she was more well-known then, but I think it was Dynasty that was really what she's going to be remembered for. And Hasselhoff, of course. I mean, obviously there was Baywatch, but man, Knight Rider made him a big star. And as far as network TV goes, 1984, both of these actors were huge. And so this is just one that I remembered the movie, and I got tired of looking at it on YouTube, and I decided to, I think I went on eBay maybe and just picked up a used copy. This is from Simitar, released this DVD back in 1999. So this is an old DVD release of this 1984 movie. So there's a look at the inside, and it's got its insert is still there with it. So I'm happy to have finally picked this up, and now that I have, it'll probably be released on Blu-ray or 4K UHD tomorrow. So you know how that works out. So there you have it, folks. Kino Lorber Studio Classics TV on Blu-ray and TV on DVD. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and getting through the holiday season here, the Christmas break, basically, just throwing a bunch of haul videos at you, and it's been a lot of fun as I'm ramping up for a lot of review videos in the new year in 2023 coming up. So I'll have more of these haul videos and those reviews coming at you very soon, and I'll see you then.